Hello and welcome back. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us. In our session today, we are going to be looking at the area of our circle, but today we're working with our radius as a decimal number and our pi is equal to 3.14. So if you're ready to see how to calculate your area when you're working with strictly decimal numbers, let's get started. So in our question today, we are calculating the area of our circle. And in this question, we are working with strictly decimal numbers. So this can be a little bit more easier than working with the fractions, but it can still be a little bit tricky when it comes to inputting our decimal points. So let's get started by applying our rules for substitution. So we know that our pi in this case is equal to 3.14 and our radius is given to us as 3 and 7/10. And remember that all of this is being squared. So we are going to begin by working out first our radius at the side, which is our 3 and 7/10 that is being squared. And remember that all of this is being squared and not just the 7. And our 3.7 being squared means that that number is being multiplied to itself. So let's begin our calculation. 7 times 7 will give us 49. We'll put our 9, carry the 4. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is going to equal to 25. We're going to now begin multiplying by our 3 after inputting our 0. 3 times 7 is 21. We'll put our 1, carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 will equal to 11. So 9 plus 0 is 9. 5 plus 1 will give us 6. 2 plus 1 will equal to 3, and we'll bring down our 1. And remember, at this point, we are going to go back to see how many digits are behind the decimal point. And in our first number, we have 1 digit behind the decimal point, which is our 7. And in the second number, it will be exactly the same. So in total, we have 2 digits behind our decimal point. So we'll count 1, 2. And the decimal point will be inputted between our 3 and our 6. Okay, so now let's substitute our answer back into our equation. Remember that the 3 and 1400 is going to return back to our question, and that is going to be multiplied to the answer that we just got when we squared our 3 and 7/10, which is 13 and 69 hundredths. So now we are going to multiply these two numbers out. And we have 3 and 1400ths being multiplied to our 13 and 69 hundredths. So let's begin by multiplying by our 9. And just to point out a little something before I begin multiplying, remember that when you're multiplying decimal numbers, you do not have to land the decimal numbers. It does not have to be the exact same amount of digits in each number. Remember that only when we are adding and subtracting, and I guess you can say division as well, it's important that the numbers are lined up so that the decimal point can be inputted back into the correct position. But with multiplication, that rule does not have to apply. We're going to simply multiply our numbers out and then input the decimal point at the end of our answer. So let's begin. 9 times 4 is equal to 36. We put our 6, carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 will equal to 12. So we put our 2 and carry our 1. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 will equal to 28. We're now going to input our first 0 and begin multiplying by our 6. 6 times 4 is 24. We'll put our 4, carry the 2. 6 times 1 is equal to 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. And 6 times 3 is equal to 18. So I'm just going to erase my numbers at the top to clean up my working a little bit. And now that I've multiplied by 2 digits, which is the 9 and the 6, I'll be inputting 2 zeros behind my numbers before I begin multiplying by my 3. So 3 times 4 is equal to 12. We'll put our 2, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 will equal to 4. And 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So now that I'm done multiplying by my 3, before I begin multiplying by the 1, we multiply by 3 numbers so far, so we will be inputting 3 zeros. So that's 1, 2, 3, and now let's begin multiplying by my 1. So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 3 is equal to 3. So let's sum these numbers together. So we're going to take our time as we go through our addition. Remember, as we already went through all of that beautiful working, we now have to make sure that we bring our answer home and we do it correctly. So 6 plus zeros will equal to 6. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, and 6 plus zeros is equal to 6. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 2 is equal to 18. We put our 8, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 plus 4 is 15. And 15 plus 4 is equal to 19. So we put a 9, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 9 is 11. And 11 plus 1 is equal to 12. So we put our 2, carry the 1, and 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now, so for our last step before we finalize our answer, remember we do have to go back to the original numbers that we multiply and count how many digits are behind the decimal point. So in our 3 and 1400ths, we have 2 digits that's behind the decimal point. That's our 1 and our 4. In our 13 and 6900ths, we also have 2 digits behind the decimal point. That's our 6 and a 9. Let's sum our numbers. And we have 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So that means that in my answer, I should have 4 digits behind the decimal point. So we'll count our 4 digits out, and your decimal point should bring you between our 2 and our 9. Okay, so the area for our question is equal to 42 and 9,866 10,000s. And remember that your area is in centimeters squared. And that will be the end of our calculations. Okay, so there you have it. You just calculated the area of your circle when you're given your radius as a decimal number, and your pi is also equal to a decimal number. So remember, with these type of questions, I know for some of us, depending on the level that we are at, we may be using calculators, but it's always good to still practice doing it the old-fashioned way. And when you're ready to learn more about how you can calculate the area of your circle when you're given the radius or the diameter, or your pi is equal to 3 and 1400ths or 22/7, remember that you can always come back to Jules Math Tools, where we aim to make math easy.